ready to grin at the end of the meeting, we'll have a group photo. Again, please remember to turn your phone back on once our meeting is concluded. Meanwhile, if anyone needs an agenda, virtual background, or has any questions, look in the chat. There's things going on, and or contact April, that's me, directly in chat. It is now my pleasure to bring to our virtual stage the dynamic, always intentional and fun-loving elected president of Masters of Evaluation, John White. Take it, John.
Thank you very much, April. What a wonderful welcome. Welcome, everyone. If perhaps I'm the first or second person to wish you happy holidays. That's right. Halloween is behind us. We can speak of Thanksgiving, Christmas, Kwanzaa, whatever it is you celebrate. And here at MoE, it's always a festive season. It's great to see you all. We've looked at the agenda. We have 3 speeches, 3 evaluations. We've got Muriel doing table topics. In short, we don't have much time. So let's get to the guests real quick. I noticed we have not only a guest, but a dignitary. He's the District 1 Director. He's a founding member of MoE when it was just a mere thought in our mind. Mr. Keith Jackson, welcome.
Thank you, Keith. Glad to be here.
Good to see you, Keith. I know you're very busy. I appreciate that you found some time to join us. Will we be seeing Mr. Stapleton as well a little later on?
That is the plan. I'll check, make sure he's on his way.
Well, I just want to make sure. Sometimes I miss guests, so I'm scanning the room for guests. Tamara Evans, you're a guest. How'd you find out about us? Please unmute. And if you found out about us from Muriel Shabazz, you could just say the same. But go ahead.
No, Pat Catlin invited me to speak next time, and I thought I'd better be a guest, get to know somebody at least a little bit. So I was here the previous meeting, I'm here now, and I'll even have a role, table topics evaluator. I just don't know where to type this so that you could see it on the screen, but I'm happy to be here.
It's all coming back to me, and thank you for locking 2 45-minute segments together for our meeting. You're that, Tamara. Okay. Mintrude, straight on New Brunswick. How did you find out about it? I know Muriel. Tell us a little more about yourself other than Muriel. Please unmute, please.
Hi, good morning, everybody. I found out from Muriel, but I have known about you before, but Muriel invited me to come. And I did attend 2 meetings, which was very interesting. I learned a lot. And I know this is an area I need to develop very much, because I realized that evaluating a speaker is so important, because not only would the speaker grow, but you grow by doing it more and more. So I like to learn more about evaluation, and I found out about it by Muriel Shabazz.
Yes.
And she knows my weaknesses.
Yes. And Muriel taught us all to promote ourselves shamelessly. Mintrude, we are 2 times President Distinguished, and if I may say, we're getting even better. Yay. Better. And it's because we've added people such as yourself. So we are accepting applications. I'm talking to you, Mintrude. Look me in the eye. We are accepting. We are. It's about membership and it's about education. We have both here. All right, we have another guest here going out of order. He's the Area C1. That's the area we are under. So he's our area director, Mr. Edward Stapleton from LAX, Los Angeles Airport. Mr. Stapleton, good morning.
Good morning, John. It's a pleasure to be here.
Great to see you. Welcome. Later on, we may ask you to participate in table topics or other things, but we do appreciate your attendance and presence. Good to see you. I think he's a guest. We're just waiting for the check to go through in an electronic area where a payment can be made like that. Harold is making us wait. Mr. G, as a guest, when will you become a member again, sir?
I yearn to be a member. I have my checkbook ready, pen in hand. I sent an email to your club saying, let me contact your membership. Soon as they let No, what I did, I called Toastmasters International. They sent me an application. And of course, when I got the application, I couldn't type on it. And I said, well, let me just contact the club directly. Let them know I'm ready to pay the fee, whatever it is.
It'd be my honor to guide you into a safe landing since Mr. Stapleton is here. I thought you and I were text buddies. I think I texted you once. I'm waiting for the return, but you and I can close this deal is what I'm trying to say, Harold. Welcome back. Crystal Hall, welcome back, but you are a guest thinking of joining. What's your status, Crystal, this fine morning or afternoon, wherever you are?
Hi, good morning. Yes, I have heard about Toastmasters from a few friends and decided it's time to dig in and figure out what it's all about and how I can be involved and get better at public speaking.
Welcome. You are at the right place. It's great to see you. Did I cover all the guests? This is a late request. Can we highlight Mr. Graham? Is there any way to do that? Or maybe we just all put him on speaker mode? It took me 15 years to do this. I was on the doorstep of accomplishing this, and it took me an additional 10 years. I was so worried about the high performance leadership project. At the height of Toastmasters is the distinguished Toastmaster. It is a very difficult thing to do. Along the way, you will face your fears and things that you don't want to do, and you will talk about a variety of things. It's a lot of work. And having earned one is one of the things I'm most proud of. And we have a recent recipient of his distinguished Toastmaster. He will speak. So, John, I'm not looking for a 5 to 7 minute response, but I am looking for your reaction to that. And the club, just unmute and let's support this man for the distinguished Toastmasters accomplishment. Congratulations, John. Seriously, it's
Congrats,
a
John.
huge accomplishment. Huge.
Thank you. You know,
Right.
there are many mentors in the process of getting to a DTM, and I just want to acknowledge the fact that I have many, and thank you all very much. So,
Well, thank you. And we love getting new members, but I can remember the day that you decided, because you joined us as a guest, and we decided, said, oh yes, when we're closing people like John Graham, we are doing something wonderful. Another person that we close, not as a distinguished Toastmaster, but as a very seasoned and expert Toastmaster, is Helen Wearmouth. She is now what I'm saying is she wrote a check and it went through. And all we have to do is a member induction. So I don't know that we have a breakout room, but is there anyone, Helen, I think this vote's going to work out okay, but let's have a little suspense. Does anyone have a motion here to accept Helen Wearmouth as the newest member of Master of Evaluation?
so moved, John.
Anyone have a second?
I second.
All right, we submit it to a vote. Shall we have Helen Wearmouth as the most recent member with all the privileges and responsibilities of being a Master of Evaluation? If you say aye, raise your hand. Any nays? Our secretary's not here. I say the ayes cover it.
Good.
We do need to have the Helen. It was close. It was close. It was only 20 to.
Shaking there. Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Congrats. Thank you, Helen.
We do
Thank
have
you.
this. We do have this promise that we want you to make to us, and then we
Yeah.
as a club will return, make it to you. So I'm going to say about 10 different things to you, Helen, and at the end, if you're okay with it, you say I do, and then club, I'll ask you 2 things.
Okay.
A Toastmasters promise. As a member of Toastmasters International and Masters of Evaluation, I, Helen Wearmouth, promise to attend club meetings regularly, to prepare all my projects to the best of my ability, to prepare for and fulfill meeting assignments, to provide fellow members with helpful, constructive evaluations, to help the club maintain the positive, friendly environment necessary for all members to grow and learn, to serve my club as an officer when called upon to do so, to treat my fellow club members and our guests with respect and courtesy, to bring guests to club meetings so that they can see the benefits of Toastmasters membership offers, to adhere to the guidelines and rules for all Toastmasters educational and recognition programs, and finally, to act within the Toastmaster core values of integrity, respect, service, and excellence during the conduct of all Toastmasters activities. Do you, Helen?
I do. I was going to do a brownie symbol sign there, but yes, I do. I will do
Wonderful.
my best.
And members, we have a responsibility to Helen. Do you agree to help Helen on her journey through the Toastmaster program to provide positive and constructive feedback, encouragement, and a safe place to practice and grow? We do.
We do.
Welcome, Helen.
Thank you.
All right, we've acknowledged all the guests. We've handled our business. We actually have a meeting to conduct. Why don't we go to the general evaluator? There's been a change. Pat had some family responsibilities and he's got to see his daughters, and we always want to give time for us to enjoy our family. So Sandra Savage, also a recent DTM, is going to be the general evaluation. Sandra?
Thank you, John. And let's get right to it so we can keep on track. The first person I'd like to call on is our word of the day and grammarian. And that is being filled today by our newest member, Helen.
Thank you very much, Sandra. So yes, grammarian. Well, the art of selecting and arranging words to entertain, to encourage, to persuade, I believe is nothing short of a superpower. But like any superpower, it should be used with balance. It should be used with care, and it should be used with measure. So this evening, I will be listening for good use of diction, majestic use of metaphor, and a resourceful use of rhetorical devices. I will hear out any ums and ahs, the filler words, but I very much doubt there'll be much of a count for that in this group. So the word of the day, I'm just going to share my screen if I remember how to do it. Bear with me. Yeah, I hope you can see that. Is that working?
Yes, it is.
Yep.
We see it.
Yeah.
So coincide with our theme holidays. Today for you guys, today's word is cornucopia, the corn-shaped ornament which you will most likely see on your tables during dinners over the next couple of holidays. Now, this word originates from the Latin words horn and plenty, and it can be used to describe an abundance of anything. I'll give you a few examples to help throughout the meeting. So here we go. The market is a cornucopia of fruits and vegetables. Or we can have Sandra's cookbook with love includes a cornucopia of delicious recipes. Or this meeting will spring a cornucopia of ideas. So I will limit the use of this word of the day to 15 throughout the meeting. So I will be keeping a tally. And back over to you, Sandra. I will also put it in the chat for everyone.
Thank you, Helen. And thanks for the shout out. And I'm going to quickly cover for Jesper. And you notice that he just raised his hand. That doesn't mean he's dying to ask us a question. That means he's our timer today. And he's going to follow the time that's in the agenda. If your time is varying from that in any ways, please let him know. But he'll be displaying a different background for the minimum amount of time to speak, the optimum and the maximum time, and wrap her up so that we can stay on schedule. And with that, John, I'm going to turn it back over to you to start our speeches.
Great. And we know all the speeches are 5 to 7 minutes. So we know 5, 6, 7. We know how that lining works. Here at Masters of Evaluation, we have the evaluator introduce or speak about the speaker's objectives. So I'm going to call upon PI3 Victoria Trabash to start with some comments on our first speaker, Karina Yakas.
Thank you so much, Mr. Toastmaster. Today, I expect a cornucopia of wisdom to be received from Karina's speech. Karina is doing presentation level 1, writing a speech with purpose. And she asked me to listen carefully to how well she communicates her message. English is not her first language. English is barely my first language. And I'm always impressed with Karina and expect to be so today. So join me in welcoming Karina in her speech, Train the Brain, Train Your Brain, Karina.
Mm. 50 million people around the world suffer from dementia. Alzheimer's is the most common dementia.
Wow.
The likelihood of developing suffering from dementia depends on a combination of genetic predisposition and lifestyle. It was proved many years ago that a healthy lifestyle prevents toward heart disease. Nowadays, it's also proven that the same is true for dementia. What is a healthy lifestyle? It's 3 parts. Healthy food. People with low level of vitamin D in their blood have more likely to develop dementia. Where you can get a cornucopia of vitamin D is not easy because this in food is quite a little proportion. You get something in nuts, in pulses, in vegetables, grain, a little bit more in fatty, fish fatty oils, so fish liver, like anchovies, sardines, mackerel. Avoid big blue fishes like tuna or salmon because they are full of heavy metals. Healthy food and vitamin D. And the most important intake of vitamin D is through the sunlight. Our skin synthesizes the vitamin D through the sunlight. Another part of important to have a healthy life is do exercise. Exercise every day. Do what you want. Run, walk, cycling, swimming, what you prefer, but at least half an hour a day. Better if you do 1 hour. And another very, very important part of a healthy life is to train your brain. Your brain needs to be trained as your body. If you train your body, you have to train also your brain. Because 80% of our daily life is occupied by routines. And a routine doesn't let your brain work because you do it without thinking. And it's important to do things thinking what you are doing. Because the brain has extraordinary ability to create new connections and new paths in the neuronal system. What we can do to train our brains? Simple things, just change your watch to the other hand, because you normally look without thinking. If you have your watch in the other hand, you have to find where it is, or change your path to work. You can look photos upside down, read something in a mirror, or cooking new recipes is a very, very effective to train your brain. Because if you do this recipe that you know, it's easy to do. If you do new recipes, you have to find the taste, the smell of these new ingredients. And the scientists say that is a very, very important way to train your brain. Also, in doing exercise in the sun. In China, people on the parks walk backwards, and that is a triple effect. In the sun, synthesizing vitamin D. Walking, doing exercise and walking backwards is training your brain. That is the best exercise you can do. As well, scientists have proved that having a rich vocabulary and using the word of the day, like I did today, it was not easy to include this word in my speech, is something that helps your brain to be active. Memorizing any text, like I did with my speech, or songs, or whatever you want. Every day, 20 minutes, half an hour, you is using your brain every single day. That is very important. And if you do that in groups, it's even better, because it helps you the motivation and the socializing. We do that every week in Toastmaster. That is a perfect combination to train our brains. I just prepare some exercises that I can share with you. Only 3. It's just and I will let me share my screen. This one. No, sorry. It's not active. Let me. It was perfect prepared, but at the end doesn't work. Like I want to be done. Now, let me. No, I cannot share the screen. Can you see the screen? My screen?
No, we cannot.
You cannot. I don't know why.
I think we did see it for one moment and then it disappeared.
I don't know why I did. Well. No, it's not easy. Let me try again. No, that is not the one. Sorry, but I am not effective with this system. I tried my. De compartir. I don't know. Well, sorry. My time is over. Well, just do exercise your brain. I will try the next time because I have to repeat this this speech another time, doing it better. But in summary, healthy lifestyle, exercising, and training your brain, and I'm training, but much more is the way to stay young. Thank you.
Yay. Thank you, Karina, for the cornucopia of ideas and ways to keep your brain healthy. You can either share it in another speech, or you can just maybe add it to add it in the chat, the presentation, so we can look at the exercises. Okay. Mr. Timer, if we could have 90 seconds to give feedback for Karina. Her purpose was writing a speech with purpose. All right, wonderful. We're moving on to the second speaker. I don't know if you're aware that we have a cornucopia of District 1 leadership. Not only do we have Keith Jackson here, did you know that Shantae Howard is the club growth director? She's one of what they call the top 3. Did you know that? If we were on a plane and something happened to us, D1 would be decimated, is what I'm saying. We usually don't like them to be in the same meeting at once. But not only is Shantae club growth director, she can also deign to be an evaluator of a speaker. She's an evaluator too, and evaluating Judith. So why don't you introduce her, if you would, please, Shantae?
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, John. It is a pleasure to be on Masters of Evaluations Air Force One. And so I am privileged to be here. But today I have a job. My job is to evaluate the wonderful, the amazing, the beautiful Judith Ferber. She is speaking from Pathways, Motivational Strategies Level 1, and she's doing the evaluation and feedback speech. So today is her first speech. It will be my job to focus on her speaking style. She is going to deliver a well-organized speech on any topic she chooses. What will she choose, John? I don't know. Will it be humorous? Will it be informational? Will it be funny? That means humorous. But all the things. Her speech is entitled Where is Home? And I am looking forward to it. I'm sure it's going to be a cornucopia of information. Back to you, John.
Yes, I know a little more because I have her formal introduction. Judith Ferber, distinguished Toastmaster, has been a Toastmaster for over 14 years. She is a member of 4 clubs. She volunteered to be a speechcraft chair of the district. This speech is from the MS Level 1 Evaluation and Feedback number 1, title, Where is Home? A short exploration of where we come from and what home means to us. Distinguished Toastmaster Judith Ferber.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests. A few weeks ago, I was in the produce section of a grocery store, but I was looking for an item I couldn't find. So I turned to this guy who was working there, stacking all kinds of things on the shelf. And he looked at me and said, "Where are you from?" I said I was from Santa Monica. Now, I had this question asked of me before, and he looked again and he said, "Where are you really from?" I said, "I am from Hungary. I am Hungarian." Then he proceeded to come up with 2 perfect Hungarian sentences. Oh, I thought, that's impressive. When I walked out of the grocery store, I was thinking about, where am I really from? This Monday, I had an appointment with my doctor, my yearly physical, and I have known her for so many, many years. And we chatted about our vacation, and I told her I was in Hungary visiting friends and relatives. And then she said, "Aren't you from Israel?" I said, "Well, not exactly. Where am I from? Yes, I was born in Israel. That is true. But I have spent about 8 or 9 months of my life since my Hungarian parents decided to go back to Hungary. I don't consider myself Israeli, although my passport says I am. I spent 24 years in Hungary. Then I moved to the United States. I lived in Detroit for 5 years, and then I moved to Los Angeles 42 or some odd years ago. After I moved to the US, I have traveled back to Hungary for many, many, many years. I've considered Hungary my home, and the US is a country that I live in. When I went back to Hungary about 3 weeks ago, something changed. I had a wonderful time with my friends. I've known most of them since my early teens. We shared our lives. We had long walks. It was really great. Then I walked around the city of Budapest, which I know so well, and I wanted to conjure some sort of magical thing that I feel that I am home. But it just didn't quite work out. I walked in all these different areas, and I know. And then I thought about Tom Wolfe's famous line when he said, "You can never go home again." I thought this for a long, long time, and I said, no, that is not true. Yes, I can go home again. Well, it turned out it did not quite work out this time. When I first joined Toastmasters, my icebreaker, my very, very first speech was living on a foreign land. And I have quoted a woman who was interviewed on 4th of July, and the interviewer asked her, how do you like living in the United States? You are from Cuba. Tell us how your life is. Then she said, living in the US is like losing one arm. You don't notice it until you want to use it, and it's not there. It was something that has so profoundly affected me, it still does, to find out where is our really we are from, or where our home is. When I came back from Hungary and I got out of the taxi cab in front of my apartment building and slowly dragged up my luggages on the stairs and went into my apartment, then I realized, yes, this is my home. And I was right when I spoke to the guy in the grocery store and he asked me where I was from. And I thought, yes, I am from Santa Monica, Mr. Toastmaster.
Wow. Thank you very much. Well, you're home here, Judith, a home of sorts, and thank you for the life that you bring to MoE. Mr. Toastmaster, 90 seconds. Mr. Timer, 90 seconds, please. Great. That is 90 seconds. We are now moving to our third evaluator. He's LD4 Ray Sweeney. He recently obtained a new job. He's working at an office. He's waiting to punch the clock out at 5 p.m. and the clock's not moving, so it's going to be a long afternoon for Ray. Ray, you're evaluating a distinguished Toastmaster, John Graham.
Thank you indeed, Mr. District Director, Mr. Area Director, Mr. President, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests this afternoon, this morning, and this evening here in Spain. It will be my pleasure to give an evaluation for the recently crowned DTM, Mr. John Graham, this evening. I'm sure we will have an abundance or a cornucopia of wisdom from him. He's calling from the third level of his path. It's innovative planning and introduction to Toastmasters mentoring, 5 to 7 minutes. The title is Mentoring Standing on the Shoulder of Giants, but I shall pass that back to our Toastmaster of the day to introduce him.
Thank you so much, John's introduction. John is an enthusiastic new member of this club and looking forward to all that he can learn. This speech is from his third Pathways. Please help me welcome a speech entitled Mentoring Standing on the Shoulders of Giants. Distinguished Toastmaster, John Graham.
Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests, I think Isaac Newton said it best. Mentoring is standing on the shoulders of giants, a cornucopia of support. Now, I started by outlining the speech in PowerPoint and using what Toastmasters says about mentoring. Then I remembered the feedback I got last time at MoE. This speech is not a report on the content of the Mentoring Toastmasters project. Today, I'd like to take you on a journey back in time to when I was a protege and share with you the profound impact and importance of having mentors in our lives. My story begins with my parents, Jack and Helen, my three grandmothers, Grandma Powell, Grandma Gladys, Grandma's sister, and the remarkable mentors from the world of Toastmasters, Ted Hill, David Kitchen, and now there is you. Think back on your own experiences. Who were your mentors? My father, Jack, was a remarkable man. He was not only an engineer, but also an avid outdoorsman and talented musician. As a child, he moved the family to California, partially to be close to the Sierra Nevadas. I remember being in awe as he struck out with the Sierra Club and began teaching basic mountaineering. He led the whole family on treks that could last weeks at a time, that scaled peaks and mountains. He took up classical guitar and, like the Pied Piper, he mentored each of us in creating beautiful music. He taught me the importance of setting goals, working tirelessly to achieve them, and how to find harmony in different aspects of life. His mentorship was embedded in his actions, his unwavering dedication, and his adventurous spirit that fueled my own desire to explore and excel. My mother, Helen, was a compassionate teacher and a State of California honoree. She instilled in me a love for learning and a deep sense of empathy. Her mentorship was rooted in her patience and her ability to connect with every student and her dedication to making a difference in the lives of others. She was always a favorite request of teachers in Long Beach when they needed substitutes. Now imagine going to class and having your mother as a mentor and teacher. She taught me that mentorship is not always about climbing mountains or hitting high notes, but about shaping young minds and touching hearts. On my family tree, I had my maternal grandmother, Grandma Powell. She was a teacher and a world traveler, and she had an insatiable curiosity. She inspired me to embrace the world, to be open to different cultures, to understand that the world is a classroom in itself. Her mentorship was a gateway to a broader perspective and lifelong passion for exploring new horizons. When it was time, she sent each of her grandchildren, to school in Europe for a summer abroad. Another grandmother was Grandma Gladys. She was an immigrant from the Ukraine, and she inspired me to dive deep into that culture and learn the Russian language. She was the seamstress at my parents' wedding and became part of the family for life. Her mentorship was a gateway to understanding the importance of cultural heritage and the rich tapestry of the world's languages and traditions. Grandma's sister, my paternal grandmother, was a nun at the St. Francis Retreat in Santa Cruz. She was a woman of deep faith and commitment. I don't know exactly how, but after having 4 children and 2 marriages, she convinced the Catholic Church to let her enter the sisterhood. Her mentorship taught me the power of faith, spirituality, and service to others. She showed me that mentoring is not just about knowledge and skills, but also about the values that guide us. And then there were 2 mentors who played a pivotal role in my Toastmaster journey, Ted Hill and David Kitchen. Ted, a seasoned Toastmaster, took me and one other Toastmaster under his wings and showed me the art of public speaking. His mentorship was filled with guidance on crafting speeches, refining my delivery, and facing my fears with confidence. He demonstrated that mentors are the bridge between self-doubt and self-assuredness. David Kitchen, I can't say enough about his tutelage. A couple of years ago, he saw in me capabilities I did not see in myself. He did not give up on me and taught me the subtleties of leadership within Toastmasters. His mentorship emphasized the importance of teamwork, communication, and the art of mentorship itself. He showed me that mentors can be found in unexpected places and they can help shape your path in profound ways. He is also the sponsor of many new Toastmasters Club, including the newly chartered Rotostados. The impact of these mentors on my life has been immeasurable. They have collectively shaped me into the person I am today. They have shown me that mentorship is not just about the transfer of knowledge and skills. It's about inspiration, support, and unwavering belief in someone's potential. Mentors have the incredible ability to guide us through life's challenges, to illuminate the path when it's dark, and to share their wisdom and experiences. They are the compasses that help us navigate the uncharted waters of our personal and professional journeys. In closing, I want to encourage each of you to reflect on the mentors in your own life. Whether it's a parent, a grandparent, a friend, or a mentor from within the Toastmasters family, take a moment to appreciate the impact they've had on your journey. And remember, membership is a gift that keeps on giving, and it's our responsibility to pay it forward by becoming mentors ourselves. Remember, in the tapestry of life, mentors are the threads that make the fabric of our existence richer and more vibrant. We are on a shared journey, and it's our responsibility to nurture it together. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, John. I remember seeing an earlier version of this, much improved, much focused. Great job with the visuals and the content itself. Mr. Timer, 90 seconds, if you would. And while you're doing that, I know you're a talented multitasking beast. Would you also give us a report on the speakers, please?
I have Karina at 8 minutes and 10 seconds. I have Judith at exactly the 6-minute mark. And I have John Graham at exactly the 7-minute mark.
Thank you. Great, thank you. We are moving on to table topics. She's a distinguished Toastmaster. When I asked her how she found out about the meeting, Victoria, she said Muriel Shabazz. That's how powerful this woman is. She's referring herself to the meeting. Distinguished Toastmaster Muriel Shabazz, take it away, please.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Greetings, Masters of Evaluation, and especially to our guests. We are doing what some people refer to as the most fun part of Toastmasters, and that is table topics, where I will present a cornucopia of questions that's designed to elicit your responses off the cuff, impromptu, extemporaneous, etc., etc. So let's get this party started. I'm going to share my screen, and Karina, we may be more aligned than I know. Let's see how we do this. No, that's not the way I want to do it, is it? I'm just messing up so I can be in alignment with Karina. Okay, I'm gonna do it this way. Okay, we're gonna get started, I believe. Let's see. Let me try this one more time. Let's see. It's not exactly doing what I wanted to do. Let's see. Gonna go to advance. Let's see if we get it. Okay, let's try this. First question goes to Vincent. Vincent, Europe has a rich cultural heritage resulting in numerous festivals, celebrations, and holidays. Vincent, which European holiday do you find fascinating and why?
Well, there cannot be one single European festival. There are basically every day. And for a man like Vincent, who happens to be a pensioner Every day is a holiday, and every day is a festival. Every day is a cornucopia of festivals. And indeed, we have every single town in Spain has their own festival. We all have saint days. Carina's saint day is on the 7th of November. And that is not necessarily a festival in Spain, but it certainly will be a festival in our family. So our idea of having festivals and reasons why you should celebrate is indeed multifold. We can do whatever we want to do at any time of the day and every time of the year. We don't need special days. And even 2 days ago, the 1st of November, which for many people is a sad day because it is the day where we commemorate the people who died. The 1st of November is the day of All Saints. And we go to the cemeteries, not that we don't have a way out. Yes, we can walk out again, fortunately. But yes, we are part of this world where even people who have died are still part of our festive seasons. And Wednesday was a beautiful autumn day. It was warm, sunny. It was gorgeous. And I think if I was dead, and when I will be dead, I will also enjoy this 1st of November, these 1st of November days where everybody comes around and celebrates with me holidays and enjoys life, even if I'm not part of it. Thank you.
Thank you for that cornucopia of different holidays for you. All right. Area Director Edward Stapleton, would you like to take a question? Are you muted?
Sure, I'm up for that.
All right. Okay, Edward, if you could spend a holiday anywhere in the world, where would it be, Edward, and what would you do?
Well, that is an interesting question and opens up a cornucopia of possibilities. My background is that I enjoy sailing. I've actually lived aboard a tall ship for a time younger in life, and I really enjoy scuba diving. I would love to spend a holiday. It almost doesn't matter which holiday it is, but I would love to take a holiday to go down to the Great Barrier Reef and experience that in person, in water, alongside the fish and other animals and plants, while we still have that global treasure available. So that would be my ideal holiday, would be a scuba diving holiday on the Great Barrier Reef. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, I cannot see the timer. Are we timing?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
It looks like you're within time.
Thank you.
Okay.
Back to you, Madam Table Topic Master.
District Director Keith Jackson, can you share a memorable holiday tradition from your childhood, Keith?
Thank you, Lady Shabazz, my District 1 World Ambassador. A favorite holiday that we used to have growing up in Chicago that I remember, Chicago was great for Christmas. Why? Christmas just isn't the same out here in beautiful sunny California, because I miss the snow, I miss the frigid weather, I miss what we call the hawk, that strong, strong wind that blows through Chicago, many times because of what we call the Siberian Express coming over Canada from Russia and hitting us with this blast of Arctic air. That's Christmas to me. One of my favorite traditions is gathering the night before around the Christmas tree in our matching pajama sets, just eagerly searching under the tree for those gifts that we knew that were there, but were never there. because our parents knew that if they put them out there early, we'd be digging in them, opening them slyly, and then getting that tape to sort of tape it back. But they always knew what we were doing. But I enjoyed that immensely. There were 5 of us, and we were always fighting as siblings would do. But we were always on our best behavior during the Christmas holiday because 1, we wanted Santa Claus to make it. And 2, we want to ensure that we got those gifts that we were so entitled to. There you have it. My views from a Chicago cold winter Christmas celebration.
All right.
Back to you, Madam Shabazz.
Oh, wow. Brings memories back to me in New York. Thank you. Mintrude, who we affectionately call Trudy. Trudy, if you had the chance to create a new holiday, Trudy, what would it be and how would people celebrate it?
Thank you, our Madame Schwartz. My new holiday would be, for me, something in my new country. I come from a very, very tiny island called Aruba, where we celebrate 2 very important holidays in the month of December. One is on the 6th or 7th of December, and the other one is Christmas Day. But I'll just tell you about the one in the 6th of December is when they bring Santa Claus back on the island to bring gifts to the little kids and nice directions for them when they behave bad, tell them what to do and how to behave well, etc. And Christmas Day is when friends and family give you gifts for the season and also for you to be able to enjoy during the year. And usually they are clothing. In Canada now, I'm living here and I would develop a holiday for myself because I do not have my family here with me except for my daughter and her husband and my husband too, but I mean extended family. That's what I'm talking about. One of the things that we generally do a lot when we are together, we try to entertain ourselves with our cultural dishes. And one of the holidays, like Christmas, I would say it would be a special holiday for us because I'm an immigrant here and many of us like to share our dishes. So Christmas will become what you call an international cultural holiday for me, where each and every one of the families will bring something delightful that they will share with all the families and we would enjoy it all together. And along with that, we'll have every family talk about why they celebrate with their special dishes and also share the recipes with us. And as we develop this Christmas holiday that is planned, we will become enriched and more knowledgeable about each other's cultures and eventually would like to create a real Christmas by acting it out. And we will ask the little kids to act out Christmas for us, however way they feel they think Christmas should be.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something we do now.
Mm-hmm.
The little kids would design a Christmas show and they will put it on for us, the parents or the friends, as guests. And they do very, very well. And we credit them with a little token. And they are asking for their token. Their token probably would be something they really want to get for the year. And we would make sure they get it.
Wow, that's
They would
wonderful.
ask for it ahead of time.
Okay.
So we will have it all ready for them. And after the show, every child would have a nice something for participating and entertaining us very well.
Thank you so much, Trudy. That was fabulous. I think I only had time for one more, and I wanted to show this one because I was looking forward to showcasing our new distinguished Toastmaster, Sandra Savage. I did not know she would be generally evaluated today. However, Sandra, would you like to take this question?
I would love to.
All
And
right, I want you to share a holiday recipe that you love to prepare or enjoy. And I want everyone to know that our newly awarded Distinguished Toastmaster Sandra Lee Savage has written her cookbook with love. So go ahead and answer that question.
yeah, thanks.
Or statement.
Agree. But I'm going to instead share with everyone a link to my pumpkin pie recipe. I just want to say one thing. The best recipes are the ones you learn from your family. And those are the moments that are so indelible in our minds and are precious to us. And that is what my cookbook is full of, is all of my grandma's recipes, including her date nut balls, which for all of you, I will put out privately later today. And in sake of time, I'm going to turn it back over to John.
And I'm going to turn it right back to you as general evaluator to go to the evaluation portion of the meeting.
All right. Well, of course, this is my favorite part. And so I'm going to call on our first evaluator today, evaluating Karina's speech, and that would be Vicki.
Thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, and especially Karina. Karina, you offered a cornucopia of ideas. I loved your speech. Now we'll get to your technical meltdown in a minute, but do not let that take away from what you brought to us today. I didn't care. We'll talk about how to get through that next time. But first, let me talk about what you did so well. You opened with a really intriguing quote. 50 million people have dementia. May I think you could consider asking a question? Because then you engage us right away. Okay. Look at your audience and say, how many people in the world do you think have dementia? Pause and say, 50 million. Repeat it, 50 million people. Now we're really engaged. They say you should start a speech the minute people get engaged. I believe often asking questions at the beginning immediately engages us. But that said, the way you started was excellent as well. You had great eye contact, Karina, and you were not reading your speech. A personal bugaboo of mine to read speeches. We're not on teleprompters, people. We have to learn to use how to use outlines to write speeches. And your eye contact was excellent. Your vocabulary was very conversational, and you transitioned from point to point well. You had 3 points you made. You talked about healthy lifestyle, exercise, and training your brain. What I thought you could do is come up with an acronym. The training your brain, healthy lifestyle, exercise, and then call it the way to avoid dementia. Always think of verbal tricks that will remind us what you're trying to do, and then we can get even more engaged in your speech. You used your hands a lot. They weren't always purposeful. If you want to say train your brain, exercise, etc., that I don't want you to get too theatrical, but that might help you. Let's talk about the technical aspect. It didn't work. Your PowerPoint was up for a minute. I don't know why you couldn't hit play PowerPoint. There is a way on a PowerPoint schedule. There's a little book at the bottom of PowerPoint. If you open it there, when you click on it, it opens your PowerPoint automatically. But when it was clear it wasn't going to work, you should have just abandoned it. Mm-hmm. Remember, we're here to listen to you. And watching you struggle broke my heart because I know the feeling. I've had sweat drip down my back in a public speech when my PowerPoint didn't work. So consider abandoning the ship if it's not working, get back on track. And thank you for all the great ideas. Very memorable speech. Excellent job. Great English. Well done. Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Vicki. Gracious and informative as usual. Next, I'd like to put some pressure on Shantae to follow up that fabulous evaluation. Shantae?
so much pressure, but I have received a cornucopia of amazing information in all the fields from Judith. So I'm going to give it my best shot. So thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Thank you, dignitaries. Thank you, Toastmasters. Thank you, Judith. Judith, I got to learn so much about you today. It was amazing to see a different side of you. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for being vulnerable. And most of all, thank you for standing up. Standing up added that extra element for me that I really was like, okay, she is going to come with the knowledge. She's giving us a great speech. I was ready. I was engaged as soon as I saw that you were standing up. What I heard from you today was a story of self-reflection. Where is home? You started off the conversation talking about this stranger in the produce section of the supermarket asking you, where are you from? He had an immediate connection to you, maybe not so much to your words, but to the essence that you were somebody that reminded him of home. That, for me, was an immediate connection because I started thinking, well, where is home for me? Being from Boston and being in the work that I do, I'm asked daily, where are you from? Probably because people notice my accent in certain words that I say, but I'm always, my immediate is Boston is home. But for you, in that moment, your immediate response was Santa Monica. But then you went on to tell us about how at the doctor's visit, she was like, well, wait a minute, aren't you from Israel? And you went into the explanation of where you were born versus where you grew up and where you felt like home. What I saw was a lot of gestures. Were they intentional? I don't know. Maybe not all of them, but coming from somebody that's super expressive and uses my hands all the time, I actually liked it and felt more engaged to you. Although you may want to make sure that you are using more intentional gestures. I thought you had great clarity. I thought there was great eye contact and you had a great use of storytelling. What I would have liked to see was a little bit more audience engagement. I think you could have maybe opened up with the question for all of us, maybe asking us, where do we consider home? And then going into your speech and talking about how you were asked these questions about where you are from and where you consider home. I started thinking about that acronym we love so much, WIFM. What's in it for me? What lesson did you want me to learn from your speech? What action did you want me to take? Do you want me to reflect on where I am from home? Do you want me to really sit down and pin that out? Did you want to just share that you were from where you felt like home? What did you want me as the listener to gain from your speech? That wasn't clear to me. Overall, I thought it was great. It was a cornucopia of reflection, and I look forward to seeing you do the speech again. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Shantae. Excellent, excellent. Both speech and evaluation. And then now the final pressure is being put on Ray to give us his evaluation of John Graham's very near and dear to my heart speech on mentoring. Ray.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. John, standing on the shoulders of giants, did you define mentoring for us? Indeed you did. And there was a few things I loved about your speech, and I will share now. The first point, you began with a quote, and that quote stayed on screen for the duration halfway through. And I love that because it allows us to read it and read it and read it again, and we can associate with you. The second point was you told us a story about your parents, about your father, Jack, moving to the Sierra Nevadas, and you engaged us with that. You told us about your grandmother from the Ukraine, your mother, Helen, the learning. And that brings us in because it's a relatable story and it allows us to think back to our own childhoods and what we were doing. Your storytelling enriches us. And what a great storyteller you are. You engaged us time and time again to think about our own journeys. And you wove a rich tapestry using some fantastic words that I'd like to highlight. Insatiable, inspired, gateway, tapestry, spirituality, refining, confidence, profound, inspiration, compassing, uncharted waters, pay it forward. This was a cornucopia of vocabulary for us this evening. So how do we take a great speech and make it better? Well, here I've a few points that may be able to help. First was your screen setup. Now, I've got to take my hat off to you. You're fairly an expert at that. Maybe just to come on screen just at the right size that you wanted, so you don't have to slightly adjust the sizing. Just get that ready so you come on screen with a bang. Secondly, I saw your eyes darting slightly down bottom left. Maybe if you're using some sort of help, have that at eye level. Just picture that straight in front of you. And thirdly, perhaps an alternative to a thank you at the end of the speech is maybe to circle back all the way to the quote at the beginning and maybe hit us with a question to take away that gets us thinking. But our takeaway this evening from your wisdom was one sentence you gave us, and I can't paraphrase it exactly, but mentors are the threads that weave the tapestry of life. And it's just so rich. You certainly showed us why you're a DTM with the gift of sharing wisdom. And indeed, you are standing on the shoulder of giants. Back to you.
Thank you, Ray. And for our evaluation of table topics, let's give a special welcome and thank you for participating today to Tamara. Would you give us some feedback?
With pleasure. With pleasure. Thank you for allowing me to do this as a guest. And I really enjoyed a cornucopia of the serendipity moments of brilliant ideas and happy smiles during a table topics presentation. First of all, I would like to mention that Muriel, while giving her cornucopia of questions, she was sharing such a beautiful smile. She was humorously commenting what she was doing, and she picked such a joyful, wonderful topic about holidays, and everybody felt a holiday in their heart even before the table topic speakers started. Then Vincent, he was giving interesting ideas about the reasons to celebrate, that it's not necessary to have a special date for celebration. If you just enjoy life, and you can celebrate every moment of it, every hour, every day. And this is a great idea which we can all learn from. Edward mentioned cornucopia of possibilities to have a holiday, to take a holiday and spend it scuba diving, investigating, enjoying beautiful nature, global treasure of sea life. Was also a very interesting idea, which I share personally. I like swimming, not scuba diving, but it was very close to me, made a special bond. Okay, then Case. Favorite holiday Christmas is in Chicago, mentioned Siberian cold, which associates with Christmas, but especially searching for gifts. That was also very close to me, because in Ukraine, where I am from, in our home, in our family, they did not put the gifts under the New Year tree exactly for that same reason. They were hidden somewhere, and we were waiting for the moment when they will be taken out and eventually given to us. And then Mintrud about new holiday, inventing new holiday, beautiful idea, sharing recipes, family celebration. Again, cornucopia of wonderful points we can all take into consideration and apply in our own lives. And Sandra, the best recipes from your family, the best recipes can be taken from your family, which strengthens our connection with our families, which went through the whole meeting today. Family ties connected. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Wow.
Now, everybody's been really good about using the word of the day, cornucopia, and we've had a cornucopia of topics today. But let's talk to our grammarian to see how we did in general for our meeting. Helen.
Thank you, Sandra. Yes, well, I've actually had to resharpen my pencil during tonight's meeting. I'd say well done. And I've been very so hard. So yes, the word of the use of the day. We've got one more in after I mentioned it in the chat. So we're at, what are 15? No, we got 18 overall.
Okay.
With Tamara coming in at 4. So in her table topics answer. So well done, everyone. I think I should have put the limit up higher for you guys next time. So, like I said, I've not stopped all tonight. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and I can't wait to hear the recording, to hear more of this fantastic use of language. Karina, our first speaker, I always have so much respect for someone who is delivering a speech, in a different language, not their mother tongue. So much respect, Karina, with that. I think you did very well. You did use the use of 3, especially in your conclusion, wrapping it up for us, eat healthy, exercise, and, use of vocabulary, the memorizing. It was really catchy, using that use of 3, it makes it easier to remember for us. There's one thing is possible for suggestion for the filler word, adverbs rather. Try and avoid the use of adverbs and being maybe too critical, but rather than very, very, try and pull out a really beautiful descriptive word to really emphasize something rather than very, very. But I'm being overcritical there. Thank you so much. Thank you. Second speaker, Judith. Again, thank you for another fantastic speech. I only heard one filler word, which is absolutely outstanding, I think. Again, we're saying similar thing, try and avoid those adverbs. Use, your descriptive power, because I picked out many. I loved, living on a foreign land. And I was kicking myself. I loved it. I didn't catch the full phrase. I did ask, losing one arm. But when, you don't realize you've lost it until you have. I didn't catch the full thing, but I remember enjoying it so much. I didn't get a chance to enjoy the full sentence. I'd rather just own up to that rather than quote you incorrectly. Third speaker, John. Constant use of antithesis, descriptive language. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, I won't, repeat. We all heard it. The scales, the peaks of mountains. Really descriptive. Walnut Raymond, rich tapestry of the world's traditions. It really just helps the audience to picture what you're describing using this beautiful descriptive language and these metaphors and the antithesis that you used. Fantastic. Through the table topics, Vincent, you used the tricolon every day. Every day is a festival. I can't remember your third one, but I know you did do every day 3 times. And I liked, oh yes, to celebrate. Well, I'm trying to read my writing there. To celebrate is bountiful. I just thought it was a really nice descriptive way to explain the joy of holidays and festivals. Edward, I liked your descriptive use of when you mentioned global treasure. Liked it. Keith, I love that we came in at the end with a beautiful piece. Cold winter celebration. Just helps picture the imagery for your audience. So thanks for that. And like I said, Tamara comes in at top of the class for most use of the word of the day. I was just forever, within those 2 minutes. I think I am done. So thank you, everyone, for keeping me busy for the last hour and a half. Thank you.
Thank you, Helen.
Great job.
I want to make a couple comments before I call on Jesper for our final times of the morning, afternoon, evening. First of all, that was the most efficient and enjoyable induction of a new member I have heard in any club I've ever attended. So good on you, John. That was excellent. And we did a great job of keeping on time. And for our guests who have joined us, and we haven't acknowledged you, John, we'll do that in just a few minutes. We'll give you about 30 seconds so that everybody can leave on time. We don't want to miss getting to know you. I'd like to say also, in as far as our evaluators went, I am encouraged with how far this club has come in the quality of evaluations. They are no more the gratuitous, oh, that was such a great speech. No. Let's have valuable speech. It makes us actually want to get up and talk and give a speech again when we have someone like Vicky who demonstrates, not just suggests, but demonstrates what she means. And that is a very amazing gift that she gives to us. Shantae, you took on the feeling of your speaker when you gave the evaluation. And I thought that was really, really sophisticated, very and thoughtful. Ray, you did a great job evaluating John's speech. I know that's a hard one to do since John is such as we all are, accomplished speakers. But thank you all. And our table topics were excellent. Excellent. Of course, we didn't have Muriel giving us the count ahead of time of how many times, or Shantae, how many times we were supposed to use our word of the day, but everybody did, and we got a thorough report from our grammarian. Just a couple last messages. I'd like to say we need to make some adjustments. We no longer vote for best table topics because that's, just a popularity contest. So forget that. We just enjoy having an opportunity to get up and talk on the fly, get our thoughts together, and get out something that resonates with others. And I know, Muriel, you've got a couple contests coming up. So all of us are practicing our table topic skills, and they're useful in many, many situations. Last thing, of course, I don't even think I need to say it, which is if you're going to be using screen share, first of all, number one, and I'm pointing the finger back at me, make sure you need to have slides. Slides are pretty, but if you don't need them, don't use them. Second, if you are, come ahead of time to the meeting, test them so that you are like Mr. On it, Mrs. On it. And lastly, thank you everybody for tucking in the time so that we're on schedule. And with that, Jasper, would you please give us the timing report?
Yes, I can. Today, we've had a cornucopia of ideas and perspectives from our speakers, our table topics, and our evaluators. For table topics, for Vincent, I have 2 minutes and 1 second. For Area Director Edward, I have 55 seconds. For District Director Keith, I have 1 minute and 50 seconds. For Mintrude, I have 3 minutes and 18 seconds, although that would have been the topic would have been a great prepared speech, absolutely. And for Sandra, I have 40 seconds. For our evaluators, for Vicky, I have 3 minutes and 17 seconds. For Shantae, I have 3 minutes and 10 seconds. For Ray, I have 2 minutes, 40 seconds. For Tamara, I have 3 minutes and 31 seconds. And for our functionary roles, for Helen, my apologies. I did give extra time. I had timed it for 3 minutes instead of 2. But timing, it was 3 minutes and 40 seconds. And for Sandra, it was about 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And that is the timer's report. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the cornucopia of ideas and perspectives today.
Thank you. And again, good job, everyone, on evaluation. I'm including into the chat a page we came up with a couple weeks ago. I've added to it the name of our club so that if you do hand it out at other clubs, we look pretty darn good. So I put that in the chat for all of you. Please feel free to save that onto your hard drive and use it and refer to it often. And with that, John, are you ready to take back the meeting?
I am. Thank you very much. It was a wonderful meeting. There's no time for my comments. It's just time for the most important business, which is to hear back from the guests. And please remember that Vincent Naray is our VP of membership. You can go from a guest to a member. Just look at Helen. Just look at John Graham. They were nothing before they joined us. I joke. Anyway, I'm really joking. Great meeting. Let's see what the guests had to say. And dignitaries, Mr. Jackson, how'd you find the meeting?
You know what? Since I was here when the club started, and it was Vicky giving fantastic evaluations, and the rest of us just hanging on trying to learn. But this club delivers such fine evaluations. It is incredible. This club is the standard of evaluations for not only our district, but for Toastmasters International. And that's not hyperbole. But thank you for the invite, folks. I just love this club. I just hate it that I can't get by more often. But I love that your focus is on bringing in new members. You added a member today. That's incredible. We all should do that. We should all model masters of evaluation. And I thank you. And I thank you for being a continuous President's Distinguished Club. You have 22 members. You added a member today. You will have 5 goals by the end of actually this month. That's going to be incredible. I appreciate that. Go and grow and influence the rest of Toastmasters International. Back to you, John.
Wow. Thank you for those kind words, Keith. And thank you for all that you did to contribute to the club. Trudy, I look forward to going to your new celebration. I'll bring my people's favorite food, the tuna casserole. I hope I'm still invited. What'd you think of the meeting, and when are you joining us officially?
Well, I don't know yet when I will join you, but I definitely will someday, but I'll come in as a guest. Is that okay?
You're always welcome, of course. Always.
Yeah. I found the meeting very invigorating with lots of cornucopia ideas that I can take with me and think about, reflect on, and how I can use it. That same slide, I used it a couple of weeks ago to demonstrate what a cornucopia is, to show people the multitude of fruit. It's like a flute. When you blow, all the different sounds that comes out of it. Yeah, so I would say I did learn a lot by just being here and participating a wee bit. Probably I'll get to participate a lot more in your meetings and grow a whole lot more. It was great.
Thank you so much. We look forward to when you return. He's a man with a cornucopia of ideas, inspirations, and insight. Harold, I know you just want to share a couple words.
I was impressed with the meeting, as I always am. Again, my checkbook is ready and pen is in hand. Where do I send the check?
All right. Woo-hoo!
Vicky Trabosh, you may have heard of her. She's played a little role in the club's success. She'll reach out to you.
Thank you.
You can also send me one, Harold, just in case, if you have a couple more of those.
I'll take one.
Now, gratuitous solicitations will not be tolerated here. The president recognized Miro Shabazz.
Oh, no, I was asking Harold for a check too.
Oh, okay. Everyone wants a check. Okay. Georgia? I'm just going to say, Georgia P. How did you find out about us? Welcome.
Hi everybody. I'm sorry, but I was on time. I called into my local calendar. I'm joining in from Athens, Greece. I have to say, I was looking forward because I had the feeling, having met Sandra and Helen, in UK club that this is going to be a good club, and it is actually a cornucopia of ideas, enthusiasm, and confidence. And I was looking forward from the beginning of the meeting, and I missed an amazing induction ceremony, so I'm looking forward for that in the future. And I have to commend you, apart from the wonderful use of the language and your timing, the screenshots with the roles titles on the screen. It's a very good innovative way of doing an online meeting. So I'm already learning a lot. So I hope to see you next time and have the full length of your meeting. But I'm already impressed. Congratulations.
Well, thank you for that. And we have Jesper to thank for those backgrounds. Jesper's been a member for a year now, is it? And he's been really contributing, as all our members have. Chipwe Chungu, she's a Toastmasters woman, so much so that she's decorated her abode with the Toastmasters artwork.
Yes.
Chipwe, welcome. What'd you think of the meeting?
Thank you so much. And thank you to none other than Muriel for inviting me. Sorry, I was late because I had other engagement, but I caught the tail of this meeting. There were so many cornucopias of ideas that I can take to my several Toastmasters that I belong to. I love the evaluations. They were just awesome, to the point, and added value to the marvelous speeches that were given. So you see me again because I see you have something to offer me.
All right.
Wait to see you again. See you for a full meeting. It'll be something else. That'll be a cornucopia.
Yeah.
Like 2 or 3 of them. Jason Wilson's visited us before. Jason, are you camera ready? Care to say hi? There he is.
Yay.
Oh, a little romantic vibe. Bedroom. Okay, Jason. Good to see you. He's trying to recruit us, it looks like. Come join us, Jason.
Is he muted?
Jason?
Are you muted, Jason? No.
He's not muted, but we still can't hear him.
He is speechless.
Not Jason.
Not Jason. I mean, that's
He's a top evaluator at tabletop. Nero, what would Jason like to share with us at this moment?
Can you hear me or not yet?
Yeah, we can now.
There he is. Yeah, we can hear you.
Well, all I can really say is that truly great leadership enables their greatness to be passed on to the people around them. And that's one thing that I've seen from the growth of this club, is that the leadership that Victoria has provided within this club has raised the quality of what people are able to contribute to live up to the name of Masters of Evaluation. And that's a wonderful thing to be able to see, because when you see that name in an email, you're expecting something great to happen when you go to a meeting like that. And coming back to this club, it's true. It does happen. So I'm grateful to have been a part of experiencing that today. Thanking Muriel for sending me 2 emails saying, one to say come and the other saying, you better come. So she's always great at trying to make sure people attend the meetings, and keep up the wonderful work that you're doing, because it's not easy trying to find your own footing on how you separate yourself out from the other clubs of people who say, yes, we do great evaluations. But it feels that you really have found your footing in a cornucopia of ways. Back to you.
Thank you for that. I hope we recorded it. That is part of the testimonial. We'll send the waiver to you, Jason. You allow us to share your kind words about us. We will add 5 members based upon that. We try to stay on time, so we're going to quickly transition. We covered all the guests, right? Did I miss anyone?